Hey everybody, it's reading time. Okay. Hope everybody's doing well. St. Patrick's Day today here and my son's birthday. Yay. But I'm going to start with my color deck today. Let's see what this collective has going on. Cleanse, isolation, movement. Okay, I like that. All good things. And a green card for St. Patrick's Day. Those coffee grounds? What's happening? Sorry. I also want to make sure I'm in the frame. Okay. Cleanse, isolation, and movement. I'm feeling I'm feeling the energy of like coming out of like a dark night of the soul kind of like this movement feels like maybe not fully coming out of it, but moving through it. You know what I mean? Because with this cleanse and isolation, this is feeling to me like a almost like a hermit mode, like dark night of the soul, cleansing, in isolation. But it feels like there's some sort of forward movement within it. But let's get another one for cleanse. Oh my, okay, on the floor. What's that? Disruption. Okay. Disruption over cleansing. Let's keep going with isolation. Determination. All right, that's good. Maybe this collective, maybe you've had a lot of disruption within this cleansing period for you, that's made isolation or this, what you need to do hard. But with this determination over the isolation, and it's so funny the way I connect these cards sometimes. It's like I see this dot kind of like in the middle of this determination at the top of the mountain. Like if you were over, I know they're not probably lined up that way, but that's what I'm seeing when I look at them that way. So it's almost like I'm seeing that isolation being what you're determined to have right now. Like you're determined to find that that time and space and environment that you need to create this, to get rid of this disruption of your cleansing and your clearing. You know what I mean, and your healing, to get this movement. Although I have to say, while I do feel like there is like I said, it's not feeling at the end of like a Dark Night of the Soul. It's kind of feeling like there's just movement within it. So it feels like, I do feel like there is movement within it, as far as having, maybe you feel like you finally healed something, or you finally got over something, or you finally realized something. There's just something that has, landed finally, that has created a feeling of movement, but at the same time still a need for movement, like a desire for more, this determination. Let's get one for this movement though, another one for this movement. Flow. Yeah, it's like, exactly, it's like you have the movement but you want more. You're trying to get in the flow of just forward movement, right? And the only common color you have here is blue, not in the same row, but let's just see. Anytime there's more than one, I will read what the cards mean in a reading, even though it's just 2 out of 6 of them. Blue cards in a reading. When mostly blue cards come up in a reading, it's a signal to honor the preciousness of this transitional time. What did I say? This is this is literally, it feels like this collective, you are in this transitional moment. Like I'm gonna get a couple decks that I know have a Dark Knight of the Soul card because I'm curious to see if that actually comes out, or the Tower. All these cards have to do with crossing some sort of threshold. They ask you to surrender to the flow of the current, to foster a deep sense of trust within yourself, to accept that, as with all things in life, your current situation will change. That determination, despite the disruption, right? Let these cards move you through. So I think this collective is kind of struggling with what I feel this disruption over the cleansing as is it just feels like you can't, not only a feeling of sometimes feeling like you're not getting anywhere, but feeling like you can't get anywhere. It's like, it's like every time you get into this mode of like this determination and this isolation, and you get into that environment where you can start to reflect, heal, whatever it is that you are working through right now. It's like there's just these things that come up that stop you from being able to really just focus on that. It's like there's always something else that you have to worry about. And to be honest, it kind of makes sense for that to be happening. If you're working on through healing things, I feel like the universe would be kind of still throwing things at you to like to trigger these things that you're trying to heal, to see if you are, or to show you if you are or you aren't. So I feel like the disruptions, while annoying and frustrating and maybe kind of making you feel like, again, like that feeling like maybe you're not getting anywhere, I feel like they're actually part of what you need to go through. Okay, I want to grab. Well, I'm prepared today. I don't have all the decks out like I usually do. Okay. I want this one first to see. I'm gonna keep confirming these rows first before I go on to a different layer here. But let's get one for this cleansing and disruption and see if we can get more on what that's about. Oh boy, okay. Haha, look at that. Sorry. 2 cards of flow. Not in the same row, but stability and flow. Trying to balance, juggling, uncertainty, stressful choices, chaos. Confirming the distraction over the cleansing, over the, I'm going to say that as like healing too, cleansing, healing. Trying to balance between the distractions that you feel like are keeping you from doing what you need to do, and kind of not realizing that it's actually part of what you need to do. It all ties in some way. It's almost like, for some reason I want to use the term, by like defeating the things in the external that need to be changed or addressed, it flows back to helping heal and fix things internally. God, I hope that made sense. But the juggling, again, between the distraction and or what you see are, seeing as distractions, and your focus on healing and trying to get out of the chaos and the uncertainty. And that uncertainty I'm feeling along with the distractions. It's almost like I feel like, why, like, isn't this, not that, it's almost like I feel like, isn't what I'm going through hard enough? Like, why can't I just be alone and focus on healing and stay in, in that mindset? Why do I have to deal with all these other things right now? Now is like it's a bad time. Why is this happening? When it rains it pours. That's what I'm feeling like. It's just like the hits keep on coming. No matter, you try and do what you think is focusing on the right thing, but every other thing like needs your attention first. Stressful choices. You don't know where to go. You don't know which thing to choose to focus on to when all you want to do is like you're so determined for this isolation, this you time. You know what I mean? Like, let's get one for this row. Oh my god. Okay, so for isolation determination, we have unexpected storm. I would say so. Destruction, conflict, unforeseen change, sudden news, and loss, wounded, not feeling enough, missing someone, left out in the cold. So this this feels like I'm gonna be honest. I'm getting I got an immediate message from this lost card and the unexpected storm that, especially since they came out together, whatever this unexpected sudden news was, this unforeseen change, it has to do with the loss of someone, not necessarily a death. It doesn't feel like a death. It just feels like someone's energy that isn't around you the way it was, or the way you want it to be. They're like this missing someone, not feeling like enough. It's like someone, either you walked away from someone or someone walked away from you. There's just a loss of presence with someone, that I think is a catalyst for this determination for isolation. It's almost like because this person is gone, you just want to be alone and figure out how to undo this or fix it or whatever it is. You know what I mean? We'll get more on that. But so this is feeling like catalyst energy, like. So again, just a detail for this collective. Don't make it fit. If these aren't what things that you're experiencing right now, it's not your reading. All right, let's get one for this movement and flow. This is really like this is feeling like hard energy, heavy. Look at that. Movement and action. Movement and flow. You got Jupiter, action. Okay? Okay, hold on. Let me read this. Expansion, growth, pursuing passions, adventures, new opportunities, fortune. This is what you are. This is your goal. Movement, going with the flow, just kind of trusting and letting and believing that things are happening as they should. You just need to kind of, it's like this, where this uncertainty kicks in. You just kind of need to figure out where you need to go next to get back to this, where you want to focus on healing. And I think there's this stress with this collective, like I said, where it's seeing these distractions of external things popping up around you as distractions, as something that's taking you off your focus of healing, and not actually kind of seeing how they're part of it all. That's a big thing for this collective too. So whatever these distractions, whatever it is that's coming up outside of this loss of this presence, this person, addressing those things is going to help with whatever this in the middle that you're trying to get through. All right, I want to get. I'm going to get this deck still, but I'm going to get a separate row for what this collective, in this moment, like what you. Or actually, I think I want to get. Sorry. I feel like I want to confirm more what this. I mean, this collective, you would immediately, something would have immediately came to mind as far as this energy. So I feel like confirming it is just. I'm just going to get a row of. Um, I guess I just kind of want to know what this collective, like right now in this moment as you're watching this, what you would be focused on or what is going on right now. This obviously, right? But this is kind of like general, like this is what you want to get to. This is, I feel like you're kind of like in the middle of this energy right now, but I want to know what specifically um, the universe sees. Okay. All right. You got moon intuition, subconscious emotions, fears, deceit, things are not as they appear. Um, to be honest, with I'm just that intuition is sticking out at me on this card. So there's something I feel like with this collective. Um, Something with your intuition. We'll have to get more. Cold control, silent, observing, hiding feelings, secretive, blocking emotions, mask. Thoughts, feeling trapped, overthinking in their head, worries, fears, and renewal spark, new life, fresh starts, rejuvenation, healing after crisis, sacral chakra. So, and the fact that this came out last, there's something with this collective again. I'm feeling with this intuition, almost like I'm hearing like I should have seen this coming or I saw this coming. You know what I mean? Like I knew this was gonna happen, or I should have known this was gonna happen. Like it's that kind of feeling of like knowing that the feeling I'm getting is like knowing that it could happen but never believing it would. That's the feeling I'm getting with the link to this intuition. Um, and these things that are not as they appear, I feel like that's more with you, or it could be with the person connected to you where um, whatever you're seeing from them is, if you are seeing anything from them or whatever you think you feel from them isn't what you believe it is. Maybe there's just something I think where, or maybe it's the other way around where um, with you, this collective, things are not as they appear, where you're the one, masked, because I mean, this collective definitely is masked somehow for this cold control. Because this is about you, remember, this is what this collective is going through right now. So I feel like part of what you're trying to heal and cleanse through is these feeling trapped in your own head, right? These overthinking, worries and fears. You have two cards with fear on them. So I feel like that's a big thing for this collective, just fear of kind of not just what's happened here, but it's almost like fear of what will happen if you don't do anything about it, right? And if I have to be honest with this cold control card, I feel like not only it's like a feeling of trying to have control and feel like you have control, but the universe is kind of trying to show you right now that you don't. There's some things you kind of you have to let go and just you can't control it. There's nothing you can do. You know what I mean? Like there's just something that feels like you can't manipulate yourself out of the situation. You can't or sweet talk your way out of it, or you know what I mean. There's just something of that effect where it feels like when it comes to control, this collective, whatever your usual ways, I guess, of soothing a situation or addressing one or approaching one, your usual ways of trying to control things in that way are not working. But again, with this silent, observing, hiding, feeling, secretive, that all kind of ties into this isolation too. I feel like within this isolation period of being in your overthinking mind and worrying and fearing about this kind of situation where you've lost someone. I for this the silent and the observing to be so prominent every time I look at the card. I feel like there's an aspect of, like I said, there you might be looking in on this person, literally silently observing them, but not like they wouldn't know. I don't think that any of this is going on with you because secretive, blocking emotions, mask, hiding, things are not as they appear, deceit, fear. That's all with this collective. Like I think you are putting up this front of maybe not necessarily happiness, maybe indifference, or just not showing fear, worry, anxiety, sad, not showing any negative emotion, or not exposing any, I should say. But with this renewal at the end, spark, new life, fresh starts, rejuvenation, the healing after crisis, that really aligns with this last row. And I like that it came out last to kind of align with that. That's what this collective is aiming for. You want something new, a new start. You don't want this old, and especially when I feel like when it comes to this energy, whatever this loss, this unexpected loss with someone is, it feels like you want something new. You don't want to go back to the old because that obviously didn't work. It got you in this situation, right? You want something new, which is great. That's great. That's great energy. It's freaking tough. I mean, look at what you have to go through. I'm also going to get, just for this collective, I guess to tie you into the reading a little bit more, I want to get my shadow decks and get what you might have to kind of focus on first or the most, especially if you're struggling with the choice, or what you see as distractions. Maybe your spirit team has some advice for kind of just to guide you, to calm you a little bit, to soothe your stress in choosing. All right, let's see. And I normally do actually this deck. I wasn't even thinking about it as I took them out. So whatever, usually I do one deck is you, one deck is the other person. So unless one comes out for them that screams to me that it's them, the person that you are missing. I don't want to keep saying the person that you lost because it sounds like they are gone forever. The person that you're missing. Okay, I'll say that. But I am pulling these with the intention of just being what this collective you need to work on. So we'll see. The universe will let me know if it's for them, trust me. I'll know. Okay. Let's see what this collective should focus on right now. It's not... Okay, so this is not the actual Dark Knight of the Soul card, but the Shadow's Gift. Within darkness lies wisdom. The pain you've endured is shaping you into someone stronger. That is basically the energy of a Dark Night of the Soul. Strength and growth through pain. So I feel like that kind of confirms that energy that I was feeling that this collective is going through. You're shaping yourself into someone stronger. Oh my God, you got it. Dark Night of the Soul. Confirmation. You are undergoing deep transformation. Trust that this darkness is leading to light. Holy shit. Sorry. That is, there it is. That's what I was looking for. That's what I felt. Reclaiming your body. If past wounds have disconnected you from your body, it's time to come home to yourself. So sorry. This collective, I was reading, I caught a glimpse of this one, and I just, sorry, we'll get there. This reclaiming your body, past wounds disconnecting you from your body. Could it be physical wounds? Yes, if that is a detail that fits with this collective, that makes sense, and yes, but I'm feeling this as more like not necessarily wounds, but I'm seeing like scars on your, like, I guess that is kind of like an old wound, right? Sorry, but like scars or marks or like tattoos, like some like things on your body. We'll go with scars, that are like they make you. How do I put it? See, I don't think I'm using the right words here. It's more like there's like parts of you that don't feel like yours. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like someone else put them there. It's almost like you feel like you've been Frankensteined together. Like you've just been kind of sewn together by different pieces that other people have decided suit you and that you should be, and whatever. And that's what you've become, a product of what everyone else believes, wants you to be. And you're being called through this dark night of the soul, through this all of this loss, this all of this. You're being called to reclaim yourself, reclaim you. Not necessarily your body, although it could be if you are someone who is more apt to seek out physical attention in times of loneliness or sad. If you, that's not a judgment. That's just if that is you. This could be kind of a message to call yourself back and to again reclaim your body, reclaim your power. But I don't feel it as like a literal reclaim your body thing in this collective. But it feels more like making sure all the pieces of you are you. And then from this deck, you got avoidance. In the dance of shadows, I conceal and invade. Fear's veil keeps me distant in the dark, cool shade. So within this, all of this energy, the main, and this Dark Night of Soul, the main thing that this collective that you are being called to focus on right now is your avoidance. So if you are kind of avoiding these things that you're seeing as distractions because you think they're just distractions and you're like putting them off, like I'll get to that later. I can't deal with that right now. Deal with it now. You know what I mean? Like take care of all the things outside of you that you know you can control right now so that you can focus on this, on your that determination to isolate and kind of and heal and move forward. Don't avoid the things around you that need attention. And there's something, not only that layer, but within your dark night of the soul, within your reflection, within whatever you have to heal, your tendency to avoid, again, not a I'm not trying to be confronting. This is not a, this is just, it is what it is. You would be the type of person who would avoid confrontation or maybe accountability or whatever you would be an avoider, right? And that would be part of what would keep you quiet and hiding things, because you would avoid speaking up. Um, so this collective, the biggest thing you're being guided to work on through this dark night of the soul is your avoidance. To create that forward movement, to create that flow, you just have to conquer that habit or that tendency to put something off or avoid it until the time is right. Or do you know what I mean? This collective, you would know what I mean. But in order to get that, like I said, that movement, that flow, that renewal, that is a huge focus. And can it be healed fully? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like, no one's ever going to be perfect. There's always gonna, but there's a point I feel like this collective needs to get to with addressing that avoidance within them before there anything can progress with the person you're missing and with your own healing and growth. So I'm actually going to get tarot for the universe's perspective on outcome if this collective can focus on this avoidance. Or you know what? I actually... Yeah, no, I'm going to get tarot. All right. Okay. Good. Yes! Oh my god! Yes. Okay. Alright. Alright, you have two knights here, which... So justice in reverse, I'm not crazy about having that there. Because for me, that's... It's like not facing your... For me, in this context, it's like kind of resisting or not wanting to face your karma. Like like your own justice. But with that, where it gets a little confusing for me is you also have this, the Five of Pentacles in reverse. I was excited about because for me, this is coming out of this Five of Pentacles energy, coming out of this almost like victim mentality. And then the wheel being here is everything. This is all part of your karmic and your wheel. This is something you have to, a cycle you have to close out, right? But then it's funny to have the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. The Knight of the Knight of Swords. He's very like he's ready to go, right? He's running toward that motorcycle, fast moving. He knows what he wants. He's ready to go get it, but he's not always kind of. It's like that determined energy, but not always kind of. Not always considering what's around him, who or what's around him. Kind of like going for exactly what he wants, knowing what he wants, he or she. I'm just saying he because it's a he on the card. But going for whatever it is that you want, but maybe not considering other people around you at the time. But like I said, it's a very it's this determined energy. That's what I'm feeling the most out of that. Just that determined, like ready to go, like I know what I want. Let's go get it. Right? That's the main I'm feeling from this. And then this coming out of because the Five of Pentacles for me, I always see it as like, see how she's like sitting outside the door, and she's looking like really sad and kind of like basically like feeling sorry for herself, and all the while that key is right there behind her, and if she just takes a minute to stop feeling or doing that, she can get up and she can walk through that door. She can create the change that she wants. She just has to, again, she, because it's a she on the card. But sorry, this was in reverse. Excuse me. But in reverse, it's like coming out of that energy. It's like finally getting up and getting that key, that dark night of the soul. It's like, all right, fine. I'm gonna face this. That I know I can. That I kind of put myself here. You're facing how you've been your own kind of block. That's what that energy is for me. That's why I liked it so much. For the dark night of the soul come up. I mean, we want this, right? We want that. And the wheel. So this is telling me that this dark night of the soul, everything that's going right now is as intent as it's meant to. It needs to happen. It's part of your wheel. It's part of what you need to do to get this movement, to get this flow, to get this renewal. It's to close out a cycle. It's on the wheel. It's part of what you are meant to do. This Knight of Wands in reverse is very, it makes sense with going through a dark night of the soul, and because even when you're in the middle of that energy, you can still be very unfocused or have self-sabotage tendencies, because that's what that's feeling like to me. A little bit of a need for more self-awareness, which I'm feeling kind of with this the Knight of Swords energy. Like I said, it's kind of like just kind of going for what you need, but not necessarily considering the whole picture at once, which I feel like could add to this distraction energy, to be honest. Because again, it's like you have this determination to focus on something or to do something, and it's just a lot of things at once, it feels like, for this collective. And maybe this, because, excuse me, for justice to come out in reverse, it's kind of, it's I guess it's giving me the vibe of it's time to deal with your karma, right? It's time to deal with whatever you've been avoiding. That's what it's giving me the energy of, because it's a need to, in reverse, it's like you're not dealing with your karma, a need to take responsibility for your actions, like consequences. So it feels like this collective, there's something about needing to face the consequences, needing to take accountability, needing to stop avoiding that. In this moment, that's what this collective is being called to focus on. So if there's something, it would have come to mind immediately probably. And could it have something to do with this? Yes. Could it have something to do with one of these distractions? That's yes. But there's something where this collective is not quite owning up or being honest or again, not facing their karma, not taking responsibility and dealing with the consequences of, or the potential consequences of their actions, with honesty instead of avoidance. I know this reading is probably getting long and I want to wrap it up, but this is wild. So, I mean, this collective, I feel like I should maybe just end it here, because I think the main message here is to, your focus is to be on this avoidant tendency. Is there a lot more to deal with these distractions and a lot of other stuff to heal and focus on? Yeah, probably a lot, right? We all have a lot of stuff to deal with, and we can only do one thing at a time. But every time we knock one thing off our wheel, we get up to that next level, right? She's all the way at the top now, but she's had to go through all these other layers to get there, right? So you got to get up. You got to, that top of that mountain, that determination. And I think it will help this collective to hear that it will help, but it might not be easy to hear, that the avoidance is the biggest thing to focus on right now, because that's probably the hardest thing for this collective to focus on. But you're probably avoiding focusing on being avoided, right? And so your spirit team is telling you it's time. You might already be in the middle of it. It's time to just accept it and I guess be open to accepting potential consequences. Maybe this was a consequence of your actions. This person that you're missing, maybe that is the reason. You know what? Actually, just to wrap, I want to get how the person connected to you. This person that you're missing, how they're viewing things right now, how their energy. Karma. Wow. Consequences, cause and effect, debts. That's wild. So I'm going to be honest, this cause and effect, I'm feeling like it's this karma that they're going through, the cause, the effect, like it's feeling very connected, like divinely connected. Like this person, again, I mentioned like the catalyst energy. It's feeling like whatever they're going through with their own karma is almost, and maybe part of where they the unexpected loss, maybe that has something to do with their own karma, their own consequences, their own, you know what I mean, like they're dealing with their own karma, and by doing that, it just feels like there's again like a catalyst effect, a flow. I want to get with that card. I want to get this deck real quick, just for the person on your mind, the person you're missing. Clarity and truths and structure. Wow. Okay. So the person that you're missing, I feel like whatever karma, whatever layer they're breaking right now of their own karma, has to do with this clarity and truths, heightened intuition, seeing things, and structure, foundation, wanting to build a foundation, balance, building, slow and steady, forming. It's like, I'm feeling like they finally saw something clearly that showed them the, almost like that feeling of, okay, now I know what I have to do so I can have this, right? It's like there's something within their own karma that they've finally broken a layer that has given them the clarity to know exactly what they have to do if they want to have a foundation, if they want a balanced foundation, if they want something like I'm seeing that slow and steady, if they want something that's worth taking the time for, right? It's like they know what they have to do now, and that's part of their karma. And I'm feeling like this unexpected loss is tied into maybe part of how they feel they see they can have this was by leaving. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna take this too long, and I just realized that my kids are actually going to be getting off the bus soon. So let me get for this collective just, excuse me. I'm going to get you an animal energy card because I'm just feeling like a little, I'm just feeling like I need to. What does this collective need to embody right now? Oh God. Unicorn. Unicorn energy. Holy crap. Okay. I'm going to read that. This is the kind of energy that the universe is suggesting that this collective find right now. Unicorn. Reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity. Didn't we have a card that said wisdom or something on it? I'm almost positive one of these said wisdom on it. Whatever. Something. I'm pretty sure something did. Anyway. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. Did they ever exist? Perhaps long, long ago? The mind answers maybe, or it could be, or no way. This very contemplation explains our relationship with divinity and encapsulates our wavering belief in the unicorn. We wonder what divinity is. We wonder where our intuition comes from and if we can really trust it. We think about a higher power and our mind hesitates between yes, no, and maybe. Is it male or female? Does it have a name? Is it just a feeling? The unicorn card appears and wakes us up to curiosity about the higher self and the divine. I said it felt like a divine connection. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating the inexplicable. The mind's eye knows there is something beyond our day-to-day lives, a deeper dimension to our experiences. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches out to grasp something more. You are the unicorn, and you have begun your quest for the answers. Yes, you have on that dark night of the soul. The unicorn and the sixth chakra. It's no surprise the subtle essence of the unicorn resides at the third eye, the exact place from which the unicorn's horn extends. This center is called the, I don't know how to pronounce this. I don't know if it's Ajna or Agna. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. Chakra or command center. The ancient yogi, again, this one, I don't know if it's yogis or yogis. I apologize. I need to look this up. Believed it to be responsible for our intellect, intuition, and deepest wisdom. Some say our two eyes see the past and present, while this third eye peers into the future. I love that for this collective. And actually, I want to get one more. Hold on. I just want to get how the universe sees, because I got that feeling of like the divine connection. How does the universe see this connection? How does it view the dynamic of this connection with you and the person you're missing? Past life, deja vu, repeated patterns, karmic lessons. Karma. There's karma all over this. So this person, they are meant to teach you lessons. They are meant to help you. So is there repeated patterns and lessons within this dynamic? Yes, because you're part of what you're breaking is avoidant patterns, right? This person, they're breaking patterns. But there's something about this person, because it's divinely guided, they are meant to help you break these patterns. You're meant to help them break. There's just something where it's a combined effort of learning lessons and getting rid of and breaking patterns. And the universe, that past life feels like it's confirming to me that divine connection. Hopeless, sinking, despair, falling apart, but peace. So I think the universe right now is saying that I'm feeling like I gotta be honest, I'm not the hopeless energy in this. I'm not feeling that. Maybe this collective is feeling hopeless right now about this energy, but it's more like I always see the hands tied on this card. That's what I'm feeling like. Your hands are tied right now. It is what it is. Like there's lessons that have to be learned. There's wheels that have to turn. Like there's things that have to happen. But like right now your hands are tied. And there's something about finding like this peace, balance, harmony, friendship. I do feel like that is a dynamic of this relationship where you do bring these things to each other, but right now your hands are tied. I feel like right now it's confirming that this is how maybe you both feel this way. Maybe there is just a sinking despair, a falling apart feeling, but because this is missing now, because this is something, it feels like the universe is recognizing this feeling right now because of this having to you know what I mean? So I feel like this is all connection. I was really actually wondering if I was going to see a soulmate or something card. But that might not be something the universe needs or wants this collective to focus on right now. As far as this dynamic, I think they want you to. I can't imagine the universe. Could they be saying that it's hopeless? Maybe if you don't deal, if this doesn't get, if the karma isn't faced, if the consequences aren't faced, I feel like the universe is kind of saying their hands are tied, right? There's nothing that can, this can't come back, this piece can't happen if justice isn't served with yourself, right? And with this dynamic. All right, that's where I'm going to leave it then for this collective. You're going through enough, but you've got this unicorn energy, right? So this is heavy energy, but at the same time, it's movement, right? It's a dark night of the soul. It's not meant to be easy. It's meant to grow you. It's meant to push you. So let it. All right, let it. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. I love you guys. Have a great freaking day. Bye.